You do not defeat Rome in open battle. For centuries that was the rule. Not a theory. A law of war. Rome could lose skirmishes. Rome could bleed in ambushes. Rome could stumble, regroup, and come back stronger. But you did not stand in a flat field, face the legions head-on, and survive, let alone win. Rome's strength was not just discipline or steel. It was mass, endless manpower, relentless confidence. A system that absorbed losses and crushed anyone arrogant enough to test it directly. Roman senators believed this rule with religious certainty. Roman generals built their careers on it. Roman soldiers marched with it burned into their bones. So when word spread that a foreign commander, cut off from reinforcements, deep in Italy, commanding a mixed army of Africans, Spaniards, and Gauls, had dared to offer Rome battle on open ground, they laughed. They called him reckless, desperate, finished. And when Rome gathered the largest army it had ever fielded, an army meant not to fight but to erase, the outcome seemed inevitable. But in the summer of 216 BCE, one man shattered that rule forever. And in a single day Rome lost 50,000 men. You are Hannibal Barca. You are 29 years old when you take command of Carthage's armies in Iberia. You are the son of Hannibal Barca, a general who made you swear an oath of eternal hatred for Rome before you were old enough to understand what hatred truly meant. You grow up in camps, not cities. On horseback, not in lecture halls. War is not theory to you, it is texture, sound, smell, timing. You learn early that Rome does not fight like others. Rome does not panic. Rome does not quit. Rome replaces losses with fresh legions and grinds forward. So you decide something radical. You will not fight Rome the way Rome expects. You march an army of around 50,000 men from Spain, across the Pyrenees, through Gaul, and then over the Alps, losing nearly half your force to cold, avalanches, starvation, and tribal attacks. By the time you reach Italy, Rome expects you to retreat. Instead, you attack. You annihilate Roman forces at the Trebia River. You ambush and destroy another army at Lake Trasimene, killing 15,000 Romans in a single morning. Rome panics, but only briefly, because Rome still believes the rule. The Senate responds the only way it knows how. Overwhelming force. They raise an army of nearly 86,000 men. 8 legions. Allied contingents. Cavalry. Veterans and fresh recruits alike. It is the largest army Rome has ever assembled. They give command to 2 consuls, Lucius Aemilius Paulus, cautious and experienced, and Gaius Terentius Varro, aggressive, ambitious, and eager for glory. Their orders are simple. Find Hannibal. Destroy him. End the war in one decisive blow. And on the plains near the village of Cannae, Hannibal gives them exactly what they want. A flat battlefield. No ambush. No retreat. Just an army waiting to be crushed. The sun rises over the Aufidus River on August 2nd, 216 BCE. Heat already presses down. Dust clings to skin. Armor grows heavy before the first step is taken. You deploy your army carefully. You are outnumbered. 50,000 Carthaginians against 86,000 Romans. Your infantry is thinner. Your cavalry is inferior in number, but not in quality. The Romans deploy exactly as you expect. A massive, dense infantry block in the center. Legionaries packed tight, shields overlapping, depth over width. They mean to punch straight through you. They believe weight alone will break you. You arrange your infantry in a strange formation. Your center bows outward, slightly convex, made up of your weakest troops, Gauls and Spaniards. Your strongest infantry, African veterans, anchor the flanks pulled back at an angle. Your cavalry masses on the wings. From the Roman perspective, it looks like a mistake. A bulge begging to be crushed. Varro gives the order. The Roman infantry advances. Thousands of sandals strike the earth in rhythm. Shields slam. Dust rises in choking clouds. Contact. Steel on bronze. Wood splintering. Men screaming. Your center bends. Slowly. Deliberately. The Gauls give ground. Step by step. Yard by yard. The Romans surge forward, convinced victory is unfolding exactly as planned. They push deeper. And deeper. The bulge becomes a curve. The curve becomes a pocket. On the flanks, your African infantry pivots inward. Roman soldiers do not notice at first. Their world is shields in front of them. Bodies pressing from behind. Noise. Heat. Fear. Then the cavalry strikes. On the left, your heavy cavalry smashes the Roman horsemen and drives them from the field in minutes. On the right, Numidian riders harass, distract, delay. Then they turn. The Roman infantry realizes something is wrong. They are surrounded on 3 sides. The space disappears. Men cannot swing swords. Cannot raise shields. Cannot retreat. The air grows thick with dust and blood. Screams become constant. The African infantry closes in. The cavalry returns, behind the Roman line. The circle seals. This is not a battle anymore. It is compression. Romans are crushed so tightly that many die without wounds, suffocated, trampled, unable to fall. Command collapses. Paulus is wounded and killed. Varro escapes, but leaves his army behind. Hour after hour, the killing continues. No quarter. No escape. By sunset, 50,000 Roman soldiers are dead. Another 10,000 are captured. Hannibal loses around 6,000 men. Rome's greatest army ceases to exist in a single day. If you find this kind of forgotten military genius and untold battlefield history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of strategy, sacrifice, and human consequence deserve to be remembered, and subscribing helps ensure they aren't lost to time. Rome does not announce the defeat immediately. They cannot. The scale is too large. The shock too deep. When the news finally reaches the city, panic erupts. Black clothes fill the streets. Names are read aloud in the forum, lists so long they blur together. Rome changes. They abandon pitched battle. They avoid Hannibal. They adopt delay, attrition, and shadow warfare. The Fabian strategy, once mocked, becomes doctrine. Allies defect. Southern Italy wavers. For the first time, Rome fears annihilation. What they don't know is that Hannibal has won the battle, but not the war. Carthage does not send reinforcements. Rome adapts, and the struggle grinds on for years. But Cannae never fades. Military academies will study it for over 2,000 years. Double envelopment becomes the gold standard of battlefield annihilation. Every general who believes mass guarantees victory now carries a quiet doubt. Because at Cannae, Rome learned something terrifying. Numbers alone do not win wars. Most of the men who died at Cannae were young. Farmers. Craftsmen. Citizens called up to defend a republic that believed it could not fail. Many names are lost. But the lesson remains. Hannibal survives the war. He never again commands such a victory. Eventually he dies in exile, still hunted by Rome. Rome survives, but it is never the same. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm that this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the past. If you want to join us on that mission, subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country, and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Hannibal Barca and the 50,000 men who fell at Cannae do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.